Okay, the purpose of this video is to kind of show you what's going on in the church with the corruption and the money of some of our famous, well-known preachers. Um, I'm just sharing the information because they don't look it up, they don't know anything about it, so don't kill the messenger over this. But I'm just showing you what's going on and letting you decide. So in this particular video, I'm going to talk about two ladies that were under investigation by the Senate. Senator Charles Grassley, Republican, did an investigation and wanted to know what was going on with certain people, and the two of the ladies that were mentioned was Paula White and Joyce Myers. So this is just the information that investigators found out, and I'm going to start with Paula and Randy White. Now, Paula and Randy White Paula married Randy White in 1989 and moved to Tampa, Florida, where they started South Tampa Christian Center in 1991. They renamed it Without Walls International Church in 1997. As they began to grow, they began to spend money and live a lavish lifestyle. They traveled around in a $1.9 million business jet. They owned a home purchased for $2.1 million on Bayshore Boulevard, and they also purchased a $3.5 million Trump Tower condo in New York City. Randy also rented a waterfront villa in Malibu, California. Randy said most of the couple's personal income comes from private businesses, including real estate companies, or a real estate company, sales of nutrition supplements, and speaking engagements. In just a few years, though, two of their businesses have sold over $871,000 in books, DVDs, and CDs, and clothing to the church, according to the recent audit. So something sounds fishy. They've got a company that produces motivational Christian stuff. They sell it to the church for a price, and then the church turns around and sells it to the members. Kind of sounds weird. An audit listed more than $5.5 million in salaries for 2006 alone. The church declined to say how many employees were on the payroll, but let's be honest, all churches, they have greeters, they have child care workers, parking attendants, they have singers in the front, they have other staff members, but most of that's volunteers. They don't get paid a dime. While there certainly is a paid staff and ministry help, I'm sure it doesn't add up to, maybe a couple $1 million, maybe, let alone $5.5 million. Both Whites have undergone cosmetic surgery. To this, Randy said, "We're on television, we've got to look the part." So they have plastic surgery on their face or whatever. In January 2005, Randy was featured on the cover of Makes and Model magazine. It's a glossy publication devoted to exotic cars, motorcycles, and scantily clad female models. Associate editor Rodney Burrell, then a church member of a magazine like this, wrote a glowing story about Randy called Riding for Souls. Randy was on the cover. He stood posed next to his wife's Mercedes SL 55, valued at more than $100,000, and the church had to buy that spot by buying $7,500 worth of magazines so that he could be on the cover. In Randy's autobiography, Without Walls, and on a 2002 web profile, Randy said he enrolled at the former Lee College in Cleveland, Tennessee, and earned a bachelor's degree in ministry studies and a master's in divinity. He said he was awarded an honorary doctorate in human letters from Virginia State University in Pittsburgh, Virginia. Representatives from both schools said he did not receive degrees there, though the Lee School confirmed he did take 2 classes. According to documents Randy gave to the Tribune in April, he received a Doctorate of Humane Letters from Commonwealth Assistance Foundation Institute of International Studies in Alexandria, Virginia in May of 1993. And an in-depth internet search found no mention of the school. There's no telephone number listing for it. Randy does have a bachelor's degree in theology from the International Bible Institute and Seminary. a correspondence school in Orlando. Randy also said that the strip club owner, Joe Redner, I'm from Sarasota, Florida, and I know this guy because I've been to his clubs when I used to party back in the day in Ybor. He owns several clubs. One of them was called the Amphitheater. Awesome club, dancing, the floor rotates and all that crazy stuff. That was back in the fun days. But he owns strip clubs and nightclubs, and he was trying to be elected for the Tampa City Council. And Pastor Randy said he would have been good for this city. A strip club owner. Pastor said that. Anyway, he also said that he has a gun collection, including an AK-47 automatic weapon. Now, I believe in the First Amendment right, and I'm not against guns, but I just find it interesting that he owns an AK-47. But anyway, County Court Judge Paul Huey ordered the church to pay Cox whatever Antiques and Design Gallery $10,217 for unpaid bills in November. So they owed money. They were going in debt. Jacqueline Knight, who runs a Tampa Public Relations, who runs a Tampa Public Relations and marketing company, said, "We've moved on. We're friends again," after she placed a lien on the church for more than $16,782 in unpaid bills in April of 2002. She was paid an undisclosed sum before it got to the courts. Paula also bought her spiritual father, T.D. Jakes, a black convertible Bentley for his 50th birthday in June 2007. So things are good if you can afford a $350,000 car as a gift. Paula and Randy later divorced in 2007. Whatever they were having problems, they got a divorce. Paula went on to start her traveling ministry, and Randy stayed at the church. And here's a couple of pictures of other houses that Paula owns. While she was flying around the world preaching, she decided to fly over to Rome and have a little fling. I guess she thought, being in another country would be safe. Nobody would notice. Wrong. Paula was seen holding hands with Benny Hinn in Rome. He was still married at the time and was also going through a nasty divorce. MSNBC.com reports that both Hinn and White said they were in Italy to meet with Vatican officials traveling independently for respective ministry duties. By the way, they stayed at the same hotel bedroom. The Norwegian Christian Daily did not buy Hinn's claim of the Vatican appointment at the face value, so the journalist called up the Vatican Secretariat to cross-check if Hinn had met with the Vatican officials, and priest Federico Lombardi is the official spokesman for the Vatican, and he denies that Hinn had any official appointments or business there with the Vatican that week. In July of 2009, Randy White, remember he's back at the church, running the church with whatever credentials he's got, he stepped away from the church and welcomed back his ex-wife as the senior pastor, saying he needed a change after experiencing stress and related health problems. Later, Randy admitted, the health and wealth preacher, later admitted to being addicted to painkillers. He was addicted to painkillers. These are the guys who teach you about how to reject pain and cancer and all that crap. So he's addicted to painkillers, and later was arrested, after he had stepped down from the church, of course, was arrested on a DUI. He was driving under the influence with whatever alcohol level, and he was charged in May of 2011. Now, Randy White returned to the pulpit of the Tampa megachurch in June, here recently, I think this year in 2012, to help his ex-wife lead the church while she continued to preach at New Destiny. What's New Destiny? New Destiny Christian Center is Paula White's new church, while Randy takes over their old church. She is the new senior pastor of the 8,000-member Florida megachurch, after Zachary Timms, the founder, was found dead in a New York hotel room with a glass pipe and a white substance in it. His ex-wife, Reva Timms, who is also suing the Florida megachurch, is worried about their children's inheritance over this. Now, get this, she's his ex-wife because Tim admitted to a year-long affair with a stripper back in 2009. And yet, he's a pastor of a church? And then dies of drugs or whatever, allegedly. We don't know. You know, I think they're trying to keep it under. They did find the crack, or the pipe, and the substance. Could have been crystal meth. Who knows? But yet their membership after all this is still 8,000 strong. So I guess Paula will fit right in there. These people are so forgiving. I swear, these pastors could be caught with the Three Stooges naked in bed with a crack pipe in each one of their asses smoking crack, and somehow all the other members would say, we just need to pray for them. And all the other pastors of the other churches would say, we just need to pray for them. They're going through a rough time. Satan's attacking them while they're having gay sex and smoking crack pipes out their ass. I don't get it. And by the way, Randy White started a fund for the church. When he came back to the church, he said, I'm taking back over. I'm going to put $10,000 of my own money in towards our debt. I'm asking everybody to pitch in so we can get debt free. I'm also starting a charity thing. It's like some kind of thing because his daughter died. His daughter, 28 or 29 years old, died of brain cancer. Again, these health and wealth people say, you don't have to sign for that package. The package being your cancer or your diagnosis from a doctor. You don't have to sign for it. You keep believing in God, but yet they lose their own children to cancer. So that's Paula White, living large. She's got multiple homes and she flies around and makes a ton of money. And just to give you an idea of how much money she makes, we're going to use her church that she just took over. I'm sure she visited that church. They knew her there. She was a guest speaker. 8,000 members. If it seats 4 or 5, you do two sermons. If everybody came to see her, and then they take up an offering, and everybody gave her $10. Now that's being conservative because my wife and I used to give $100 to guest speakers. We made good money. I liked the person, so 50 at minimum, but usually 100. But if you take 8,000 members, you times that by $10, she shows up there, does a sermon, maybe one at 10 and one at 9:30 and one at 11. In front of 8,000 members, she gets $80,000. $10 times 8,000 is $80,000 that she walks out of there with. That's what kind of money these people are making. There are going to be people that don't give $10. Maybe they have no money whatsoever, but they still find a way to go to church because they want to see Paula White. But there are going to be others that give $100, $1,000 because they love her so much. Plus she's going to sell books and CDs. So she's going to walk out of there with minimum $80,000 for that visit. This is why they're able to buy $3.5 million Trump, condos. So anyway, that's Paula White. That's as much as I could find on her. She's a trip. Thank you. Hey guys, I'm out of time, so I will get Joyce Myers on the next video. Sorry about that. Thank you.